Hey everyone, it's Jackie Purcell. I'm here at our streaming desk and we are coming to you live because you know what? The month of August is here already. Picture Alaska got a little bit sidelined last week from all that tsunami concern, but I do have your viewer photos back here this week, so we'll get right to that. But I do want to show you first that beautiful sunset from last night, and it was here in the Anchorage area. That is Mount Susitna, and then dark. And by the time it was light again, yes, the clouds had already moved in, and we have some rain as we are going through our Thursday. But I did promise you some more beautiful August views, so we'll get right to that. Wow, we did have a series of beautiful sunsets. This is out of the Anchorage area, and thank you to Michael Benson for sending that in. It wasn't just Michael that was looking toward that sunset, because a lot of folks send in some really stupendous pictures. This is the sunset after the rain. You can see some of those rays, crepuscular rays, sometimes crepuscular rays, sometimes anti-crepuscular rays, but these are crepuscular because they're emanating from the sun. So thank you for sending that in, Winnie Alexander. But also Ann Bristow sending us a similar view. And by the way, it was the last sunset of the month of July. So July went off with a really nice farewell to the South Central region. This was the view out of the Knik River. Joseph Dennis, thank you for sharing that with us. And so many beautiful, and you know what? I think clouds sometimes enhance that sunset when you can see kind of that display of color on the underside of that cloud cover. So Bethel, that looks a little foggy, a little misty. You can see there's a lake there in the distance, if not a river. I'm not quite sure, but that is a float plane, I believe. And JoJo Prince, one of our steady Weather Picks contributors. Thank you so much for sending that in. And we do have also some more beautiful pictures coming to you out of the Arctic slope. I wanted to show you this beautiful rainbow, but it's almost like a double bow. And I left the mosquito in the picture. Why? Because probably on the Arctic slope you have, what is it, millions, trillions, I don't know, billions of mosquitoes. And a lot of people kind of think of them as the Alaska state bird during the summer. Hey, we just got a comment that there was some ash in the air, so maybe you could give us your location and tell us where that is. It could be related to some wildfire smoke, maybe from Canada, but we'll check into that for you. So let's get to more of those. I wanted to thank Jeremy for sending that in out of the our northern portion of our state. And here's an interesting photo. Bob Silver sent it in, said this was a nasturtium and that this bee and spider were going at it. And I thought, gosh, are they fighting? Well, I looked it up, and a spider will prey on a bee. If they can catch it, they will prey on that bee. And so, hey, you caught a little drama there in Mother Nature, but a beautiful backdrop on a flower for such a brutal event. Well, raindrops on fireweed, that's happening a little more often now. The fireweed is in bloom, not quite to the top, but the raindrops are also falling in the month of August. So Lucy, thank you so much for sending that in. And the berry season, the blueberry harvest, that's in full swing. That goes to Lily Booth, that beautiful photo. And I love the berry pictures that come in. We have some really nice ones. Look at that. It's sunshine on a cloudberry from Burnell Pete. So cloudberries also referred to as salmon berries. So they look the same. I love as a weather person, I love the term cloudberry. So thank you, Burnell, for sending that in. And that's not all. This beautiful kind of close-up of that flower, but what's really cool and interesting about this is that this bee looks like he's looking right at us, doesn't he? It's like, look at those eyes. And Mary BB, thank you for getting that really cool photo at the right moment. So that bee in flight, probably the wings going so fast. It's a little blurred shot, but you can see that is sharply in focus. Those eyes are so cool. So thank you for sending that in, sharing it with us. Another beautiful shot of the fireweed, this coming from the Kenai Peninsula location of Deep Creek. So Rory Spurlock, thank you for sending that in. And also, I want to point out to everyone that those blooms are still well from the top, and at least Rory's photo from the peninsula. So this is kind of a cool photo. Can you spot the rock ptarmigan that is in this photo? I know, it's pretty hard, isn't it? So while you're kind of trying to get a look at that, I'll just give you a few rock ptarmigan facts. It's a medium-sized game bird. It's in the grouse family, and it's called either a willow ptarmigan here in Alaska. I've heard the term rock ptarmigan, just plain ptarmigan. They do breed on hilly or mountainous tundra throughout Alaska, and they appear to prefer low herbaceous, even dwarf alpine plants that are intermingled, obviously, with rock and gravel ridges in our alpine valley. So I also looked up a statistic that, you know, I bet you in the early days of like living in Alaska, maybe prospecting in Alaska, just trying to survive in Alaska, they are high in iron. So they were probably a pretty staple of the diets of some of those early peoples and settlers. So if you are trying to see, hey, I can't see where it is, I zoomed in. Oh, and then it was too fast. Sorry, but maybe I gave you enough time that you got a chance to see that. But check out this beautiful shot. I love how it's kind of in focus in the near ground and then out of focus in the background. So thank you to Raina Ulak for sending that in. Also blueberries hanging off there, just waiting to be harvested in Bethel area. Dimitri Lestenkoff sending that in, sharing it with us. Boy, August sure is showing off. It's been a pretty decent summer. And I will say that, decent summer, because last July we had a lot of rain here in the south central region. Anchorage specifically had about 4 inches, but we only had about 1.5 inches this past July. So August has been pretty nice to us so far. We are seeing some rain today. Look at this beautiful start to the day in Seward. That is the sunrise from our Lolly Morrow. But then we have a beautiful shot of the similar view from Alvin Aramburo as the sun was going down. Check out the cruise ship there in the distance, but love boat harbor scenes. Don't when the weather's nice. But when the weather isn't nice, you can get a cool photo at times as long as you're far enough away. This is lightning out of northwest Alaska, specifically the Red Dog Mine. So thank you to James Sabuck for sending that in. So when lightning roars, go indoors. Valdez Boat Harbor, check out the aquamarine color of that water. That was on a cloudy day. I bet you it's just stunning on a sunny blue sky kind of summer day. The sunset from Mount Susitna, looking over Mount Susitna. Thank you to April Perry for sharing that with us. And then if you do want to share with us, I want to make sure that you know that you can always send in your photos as well as videos. We try to get them on the air, but when we can't, we try to share them with you here. So want to take a moment to make sure that you know that you go to the Alaska's News Source webpage, and right there on the top you can see on the banner submit photos and videos, and that's what you would use to make sure that you can get in touch with us. So thank you for spending a little bit of time with us here on this Picture Alaska August edition. Have a good afternoon, everyone.